sacrifices that we make for God, they show up in our commitment to God. That when we sacrifice for God, we show him that we love him, that we truly do value him. But without sacrifice, our commitment is empty. Comes just a whole bunch of words. See, can I talk to some grown folks here today? I'm about to help somebody in your relationship. A relationship without commitment is something that immature infant believers might be okay with. But grown folks, mature folks, ain't gonna have it, because relationships require investment and commitment. Now watch this, you don't waste your time on relationships that have no investment and commitment. Kids spend a lot of time dealing with transactional relationships, but once you get to a certain age, you want transformational. Listen, White Castle and McDonald's dates done well when you were younger, but listen, when you get older, they gotta put a ring on something. I wish y'all would talk back to me up in here, and I wish I had somebody that will help testify. Pastor, I don't have time for transactions. I want to be engaged in transformation. If I'm going to invest something, then you need to invest something. And if you ain't willing to do it, then go ahead and step. This ain't really what you want. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my energy. Don't waste my minutes on my phone. You ain't got time for it. He wanted to count the horses. He wanted to count the soldiers. He wanted to count the army to see how powerful he really was. He had never done this before because he never needed to do it, because God was the one who was taking care of him. But listen, here's what happened. He began to believe it was him who was making it all happen. He began to believe it was him that was responsible for him having the bag. And instead of trusting in God, he says, I want to go and count to see how much I really have. And the Bible says, after he finishes, he becomes convicted. God sends the prophet Gad to tell him that he never had to do that. And because you did that, you've shown me that you trust more than you trust in me. God help me up in here. I'm going to preach it anyway. Listen, and because of that, there are going to be some consequences. The Bible says that a 3-day famine falls on Israel, and during that time, 70,000 people die as a result of David's bad decision. God sends the prophet Gad back to David. Gad tells David, Dave, there's a way you can stop all of this. He says, I want you to go to the house of Araunah, the Jebusite. I want you to go to his threshing floor and build an altar right there. David gets up from his sackcloth and ashes, his period of mourning, of weeping and grief, and he runs down to Araunah, the Jebusite's house, ready to buy the threshing floor. When Araunah sees the dilemma that he's in now, David is in this rough spot, because of his own bad decision. I told y'all he took a census of the armies of the kingdom and discovered that there were 800,000 warriors in Israel, 500